What is happening in Gaza is a terrible humanitarian tragedy. The suffering, forced displacement, and loss of innocent civilians we are witnessing is unbearable to many of us, regardless of our ideologies or faith.
Singapore's aid to Gaza demonstrates our compassion for Palestinians. It also signals our values as a principled small state. How effective has Singapore's humanitarian assistance been in meeting the needs of Gaza? The International Association of Genocide Scholars has declared that Israel's actions in Gaza are consistent with the legal definition of genocide. Will the government call Israel out for committing genocide?
Small countries like ours rely on international law for survival. How does the ministry see Singapore's role in speaking up for other small entities or states when injustice occurs? And what does the erosion of international rules in this conflict signal for the security of small states like ours?
Going beyond verbal condemnation, imposing sanctions, how does Singapore's response in this instance to Israel's attack in Qatar compute vis-a-vis our responses to past instances of violation of sovereignty? And can we not consider imposing sanctions as an expression of our disapproval to a violation of this very core principle of international law?
And in terms of our interests, it's not just a matter of national security for us in Singapore, but arguably also a question of national conscience. Will the government thus consider using these open lines of communication to support perhaps ceasefire negotiations in some shape or form beyond the humanitarian assistance?
In a more broader perspective, can you share how Singapore would assess the actions of other countries going forward that have imposed financial or economic sanctions on Israel, and whether there is scope for us to consider similar enhancement measures in a calibrated way?
What these other governments believe is recognizing the state of Palestine now will help to preserve the hope of that two-state solution. Is this something that Singapore would consider as well if it feels the actions of the Israeli government may be undermining the two-state solution?
As the Malay saying goes, bersatu teguh, bercerai roboh, which loosely means united we stand, divided we fall. Let this be our compass when discussing and responding to the situation in Gaza, that whatever views we have or we hold to, we will always respond constructively and responsibly and remain united and stand together as one Singapore